Hi, this is Glenn Brooks from TeachToChangeLives.com, and today I want to talk to you about a very disturbing survey result and what I think we can do about it. 72% of Bible teachers that I surveyed burn out and quit after only 2 years. I had over 400 responses on this survey, and I was so bothered by the result, I went back and I started communicating with some of the people who participated in the survey and tried to identify the reasons that they were quitting. What's going on? And some people are quitting just because there's a change of life and they're just not supposed to be a teacher, and they know that. I accept that. But most of the people were quitting because of people problems, for example. They're frustrated with their pastor, or they were not getting any support from their peers, or there were just people in their class or small group that were driving them nuts and they didn't know how to handle it. They liked teaching, they just couldn't handle the people problems. Or they're just overwhelmed with stuff. I mean, they couldn't keep up. They were being asked to teach every week, and they didn't have the ability to get lessons together, and they were tired, and they just get overwhelmed. Or they were discouraged by an event or several events, and they didn't know how to handle that kind of discouragement that comes. The most interesting, perhaps, is a lot of people that I've talked with who burned out just literally didn't have confidence in themselves to continue. For whatever reason, they just didn't think they were qualified, or they didn't think they could be a good Bible teacher, and they never got any useful feedback, and they weren't improving, and they just lacked confidence. They didn't get any coaching. Now, there's already a great shortage of dedicated Bible teachers everywhere in the world, whether it's here in the U.S. or especially in places like Asia and Africa, where the church is exploding in growth. In Europe, they're just hungry for teachers. There's already a great shortage. We don't need we need hundreds of thousands of new Bible teachers in the coming years. We don't need to be losing the ones that we have. And we don't need to be adding to the number of bitter, discouraged people in churches today. The truth is that we need you to be an effective, life-transforming teacher for years to come. The ministry opportunities are astounding and amazing, and if people are burning out because they don't know how to handle situations, we have a real serious problem. Now, the truth is that you can't control all the events and people issues, but you can manage your preparation and response and become an even better Bible teacher in the process. You can grow and develop over time. That's the truth. People get upset because they can't control everything. Well, you're going to have to find a different universe because you don't run this one. So you can't control all that, but you can, through God's grace, manage your preparation and your response. And your long-term success as a Bible teacher rests on the things that everyone else can't see, what I call the inner Bible teacher. Now, in July and August of this year, I ran for a very small number of people a personal coaching program. I'd never really done this online before, and I called it the Inner Bible Teacher, and it covered a lot of these issues. And had a good time with it. It was very helpful. The most encouraging piece of feedback I got was from a woman named Amy, and she wrote me and she said, "You gave me hope that I can keep on teaching to change lives for a long time." And that's exactly what I was aiming for, was to help people have a long-term ministry of effective Bible teaching. Now I'm going to offer all that content of the coaching, not the personal coaching aspect, but all the content, all at one time for a special price. So let me show you what's covered, because everything is specifically designed to help you with the toughest ongoing challenges that you face. And a lot of the things that people were struggling with when I surveyed them would be addressed by this. So here's a mind map of the curriculum for the Inner Bible Teacher. First off, we talk about mindset, what mental models you need to have as a teacher, how to see yourself as a teacher, The people who just lacked confidence would really have benefited from this. How to be a sponge for God's teaching, so you can turn around and then use that information to teach others. I mean, if you think of yourself as a cup and you're constantly pouring out, you need to get refilled, right? And then we talk about rhythms, because we are physical creatures. We have physical rhythms of work and rest and nutrition, and we have cycles of learning and doing. And you can either pay attention to those very real rhythms and work with them, or you can choose to work against them. And if you choose to work against them, you are probably going to burn out. So learning what your rhythms are and how to work with them is very powerful. Prayer. We spent a fair amount of time working on the idea of developing a prayer team to support you in your teaching ministry. This is a rather radical idea, unfortunately, today, but you need a prayer team. And I give you very specific advice about how to go about recruiting for that prayer team, how to cultivate them, how to help them pray for you in the teaching ministry. And then, of course, systematic sustaining prayer for the people that you're teaching. Teaching to change lives is a ministry. It is a work that must happen by the Holy Spirit in people's hearts, so prayer is absolutely critical and essential. How to get and use feedback is a big piece of a sustained teaching ministry. You need to, I outlined the kind of realistic objectives that you should have, how you self-monitor, how you learn from yourself and you grow and develop, how you solicit constructive, useful input from others, something more than, oh, that was great, that lets you get better over time. And then how to sort through criticism, because if you teach very long, you will receive criticism. And some of it won't feel very good. But how do you sort through that and use it so you develop as a teacher? Finally, working with others in ministry. How to work with pastors and ministers and anyone in spiritual authority above you. How to work with your peers. How to mentor new teachers and work with students. All those problem kind of areas that so drain people emotionally. And then putting all this together, how would you develop your own personal development program? What components should you need to have? How should you make commitments, and how do you get that going? So that's what's covered in the Inner Bible Teacher curriculum. It's very exciting. It's content that I have largely not shared before this initial coaching program, and now it's available to a broad audience. So click on the order button below for instant access. I don't want you to be one of these people who are burning out after just a short time in teaching ministry, because it's so unnecessary. And you can strengthen, even if you're not burning out, this material will help you strengthen that inner Bible teacher, if you will, so that you're not likely to burn out and you won't get tripped up. In fact, you'll develop much faster and much stronger. So thanks for watching this video. Click on the order button below for instant access.